Well, hello. If you don't mind, we're going to take our horse to the Old Town Road. No, I'm just kidding.
And then what?
I don't know the rest of the words.
Ride till we can't no more.
Baby. We got the horses in the back.
That's not the words.
Hey, it's Mojo, Danny, Tony, Jake, and Jen in the room. Wednesday, 10:30 per usual for another round of BSing.
Woo!
What an eventful day we've had today so far.
Holy crap.
It's Garth Day around these
Garth
parts.
Day!
It is. It's officially should be a holiday, Garth Day. Although I think we saved that for June 29th when
Garth
he
Day.
comes to Eugene for the first time ever, which all these Beaver fans in the room are super excited about.
It's not his first time in Eugene, actually.
According to the press release,
How's that work? When did he come to Eugene before?
He was there in 1991.
Oh, no way.
first time ever in Eugene, Oregon, from Garth's camp.
Well, they missed a date on the calendar.
Are you sure he played Eugene?
Yeah.
Where did he play?
Um,
I'll wait.
it's before it was Autzen. It was a different.
And who gave you this information?
He's never played a stadium.
It's not a stadium.
We said before it was Autzen.
Where he'd played in 1991 wasn't
Or
a
the
stadium.
club, maybe?
It was.
Or a fair or festival?
And wait a minute, you
can't
always have to
remember
ask
the
Jen where
name.
she gets her information.
Yeah, I was going to say she's up from a meme. She's
From a-
fact-checking Garth's camp. I don't know if I would back her up on this
It
one.
could have been like Lane County Fair. or
It
something.
was from it was from a listener who saw him.
Are you sure it was in Eugene or outside of the Eugene area, which technically would be a technicality?
He just said it was someone who texted in.
It wasn't
Kaiser
someone.
doesn't count.
If it was in 1991, it would be pretty hard to track that. Like, where would you Google?
Well, I know, but Garth's camp has a historical record of every.
But I bet you could miss it.
But what if it was Springfield?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Then it's technically
No, it's not.
First.
But I'm betting Jen's right that they flubbed it.
fact check us. Email
Huh,
us.
I'm
interesting.
working on it.
I'm
You can
thinking
email
about
us, Danny at 987thebulldom. Flood him.
Yeah, and I'll forward them to Mojo.
So this-
MOJOE at 987thebull.com.
Jerk. So this is if you're new to the podcast / Facebook Live event, we each bring something happened in our life, something happened in pop culture, throw it on the table, go around and take your comments as well on our live feed. Who wants to go first today? I know we have a lot to talk
We're
about.
gonna talk about. I'll go simple, fast, and mine's fairly easy, and I'm sure everybody's probably seen these a million times.
By the way, nice attire today.
Yeah, right. It's
you
all
really
Garth.
coordinated all that. I love it.
I made it work. It was either that or the Blazers. I had to represent.
Can you believe that, by the way?
It was an incredible game
Yes.
last night. Yes.
It's just the Thunder.
But here's the deal. Now they're going to OKC, so they got to win a game on the road.
Also known
That's
as
how
the
it
Sonics.
starts, huh?
Also known as the Sonics.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
It used
exactly.
to be Seattle. Huh?
Yeah.
It's not as if the Thunder, like wherever they play, the Thunderdome or whatever they call it,
Thunderdome.
is like a storied, venue to play in.
Right, exactly.
If they don't call it the Thunderdome, big missed opportunity, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and now they don't have much to worry about because Kevin Durant's in Golden State in Oakland instead of not in OKC anymore.
Clearly, the Thunder, they're in the playoffs and they're
Right.
going to be good. But
Yeah.
when you go to like Madison Square Garden, that's an event.
Right.
When you go to the wherever they're
Right. They used to go to
place
the
is called-
Forum in LA and the Lakers, and then now it's a Staples Center.
hadn't
That's
even
an event.
been there that long.
Lakers aren't even in it this year.
I know.
You
I
can feel
know,
comfortable about rooting for the Blazers.
LeBron's on the couch going, "This sucks."
I feel bad for LeBron, really, I do.
Yeah.
Counting his money.
Poor
at home.
guy.
This also is a working title called ADD, which we're
Yeah.
Obviously bad at.
Let's get back on track.
Danny,
Okay.
what's yours?
Lately, maybe everyone else has noticed it, maybe not. I get all these emails that keep popping up, and I've tried to. I'm not computer savvy. Jake's my nerd guy, my tech guy. I'm always asking, like, how do you stop these things? And lately, like, the phone calls were coming in. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like, you can put an app on your phone to block all the calls. Lately, my emails, home, work, everything else have just been blowing up like
Mine
mad.
too.
And so I'm wondering, is it like a time thing or is something's going on? Because now for the last 4 days, I've been unsubscribing to these emails. And I'm nervous about that because if I unsubscribe, does it open up another page to say, sign this guy up to like 5 more things?
I'm
Oh.
always suspicious of those. When you click an unsubscribe link from a not reputable source,
Right.
a lot of times all you're doing is just verifying that, yes, this is a real email with a real human that checks it behind it.
well, anytime I get one of those, do you want to subscribe for our emails? I always do, and I put Danny at 987.
Oh, that's why.
Maybe that's part of the reason.
Yeah, okay. Now I know why. And hey, I'm going to go to the temple out there and
By the way, if you hate somebody and you want to get revenge, that's how you do it.
that's how you do it. Well, you go to the church in Salt Lake City and sign people up too. But like, here's one from like it just popped up on my phone right now, and I'm not saying that I didn't sign up for this, but from let's say the Naked Winery. So I'm like,
Sounds like something you'd sign up for.
I want to go.
I'm signed up for that too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it says to unsubscribe, hit here. So I do. I give them my email address, but then I get like 7 more. I'm like, what the heck?
Do you go to it and then you have to put in your preferences? Like, I want one a week. I want one a month. I want to completely unsubscribe.
That's the new thing I've seen lately. So like, why are you unsubscribing? And they list those. I get too many of these. This is non-relevant to what I do, or
I
so on
check
and so forth.
other. So leave it
Yeah,
at
so I'm
that.
like, man, it's driving me crazy.
You don't
lately.
need to know.
Is anybody else experiencing this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I have had a lot. You know what? I go through first thing in the morning. I purge all the email that's spam, basically, or isn't necessarily something I want to, reply to.
Right.
And I noticed that has been a lot more than normal.
Yeah, they must go on these little binges. They just start sending everything out.
Have you noticed too? And I don't know if this is like just coincidence, but if you like get 10 new emails and you delete them all, that all of a sudden you get 2 more.
Right.
Like all of a sudden Target wants to send me an email. It's like, did you know I'm on right now swiping through and deleting stuff, and
Right.
now you're wanting to target me?
I think that's just because
Pun
your email
intended.
updates when you're looking at it.
Oh, that could
Maybe.
be two.
Okay.
That could be two.
Hey, well,
Still.
I always swipe down to make sure it's updated before I start swiping and deleting, and then all
It
of a
takes
sudden,
a second sometimes.
Maybe.
I'm sure you're not far off. I
But,
mean,
but the way you can do pixels and targeting, people who are liking similar things and hitting them with messaging, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a way to know when you're actively on your email and then blasting them.
well,
with
there's
it.
ads within your email. Have you seen that?
No, within Gmail or within any email?
Yeah, on Gmail, you know how they put it in promotions,
Right.
social,
I saw that the other night.
primary. Under the promotions tab, the emails that all go there, there's a couple ads at the very top.
Right.
Oh.
And those ads are usually stuff that I've either Googled, bought on Amazon, looked up on Instagram or Pinterest.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed those too, and I noticed that for the first time. That's what made me start unsubscribing to everything. I'm like, promotional? What is this? And I opened up, and it was like, I was like, oh, stop!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's going on? I was in panic mode. Jake,
Yeah, that
help
would drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't know what the reason is, but
I
yeah,
don't
I
either.
have noticed
I don't
it too.
know.
I have an email that I send like all of that bullcrap to, like, because sometimes I like Old Navy, for instance, or Ulta. They've always got good coupons that they send out, and it's always like through the email. So I've got an email that I give for that type of stuff, and then if I'm in that store, I go to that email and go through and look to see if they've sent a coupon lately. But that's the only reason I use like that email for.
Gotcha.
And then I've got my other emails
You set up a
for
fake
like
dummy account.
actual important stuff.
That
Gotcha.
explains it. I emailed you all the Garth images yesterday, and in the subject I put Ulta. That's why you didn't get it.
Like
Jen.
ultimatum. Here's Garth.
Oh, Mojo
that's funny.
Robert.
I don't have a solution for that, but that is annoying. I
That's
agree with
annoying.
you.
Dang.
Gosh, terrible, man. It's
So
nuts.
Jen, what do you have today?
I realized, I mean, I think I've realized this for a while, but my frustration with it has tipped over
Me?
the time, other than you.
You're second on the list.
You're second.
Number 2.
I was on
I'm number
Instagram. I was on Instagram yesterday and swiping through, like, I follow some boutiques on Instagram, and all their models that they use for the stores have their own Instagrams. And I also follow them because they're just adorable and cute outfits, whatever. But I've realized, so I'm swiping through, and they all have the same filters. They do the same poses. It just, and all of a sudden,
Which pose is it? This one?
Yeah, do your favorite, Jen.
not even, I can't
Yeah,
even.
Tony knows.
I don't even know. No, they don't. I don't even think they take selfies. They don't. But just all of a sudden, there's all these girls on Instagram, and they all look exactly the same.
We call those Instagram models.
I know, but
Let me look.
I just feel like even the suggested people, like
Yeah.
when you go to the search or whatever, and there's the suggested ones to follow, all of that stuff is the same. And I feel like it's so fake. And it's just, I don't know. Like I understand, and I've always understood, I have, but yesterday for some reason it just tipped over that I see now why young girls and even women up to my age feel like their life sucks, like they don't have enough.
Or
They're not
self-esteem,
content with what
image
they have. They have
problems.
image issues, body issues, no self-esteem, because there's these millions of women on Instagram who are perfect looking with a lot of filters, who have great clothes, who do all of the same poses, and they're all just replicas of each other. And how do you even compete with that?
You don't.
You don't.
You
You
do
feel
you.
like crap.
Well, who are you competing? If you're asking if you're competing, what are you competing for?
I don't know. It just
Because I think as when I'm almost to the point now where it used to be. I hate to say it like that, you'd see a picture of a half-naked woman or whatever, or a pretty lady, you'd be like, "Whoa, my goodness!" You
Or
really,
guy.
you really notice, or guy. Yeah,
It's
but
applicable
for
on
me,
both.
me, it's women,
Guys. Oh.
and so, and it was a big deal. But now it's in everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, so like
sure.
when I'm scrolling through Instagram, stuff that when I'm sure back in the day would have been like, "Wow," you're just like keep scrolling, and it's none of it's real anymore.
Nope.
Because we've all met some of those men or women that we see on social media and go, whoa, like I guarantee you, and you guys have seen me. I can take a picture and make it look any way I want now, any way I want. Take out all the wrinkles,
Right.
put abs in. You can literally put in abs.
I have that app.
Oh, so those shirtless pictures, those abs aren't real?
No, that's perfect lighting.
My little six-pack's a little bit bigger, though. It's a little different.
I did figure out one secret to the ab picture.
Okay.
If you have a little bit of a hairy stomach, you just shave the hair down the middle and then right here. Doot, doot,
Oh,
doot,
smart.
Right.
And it makes you look like you have abs when it's actually just hair.
See, I take one of
hair,
those.
Abbo.
I take one of those spray tan
I got
pens
abs,
and I
but-
just
Yes.
That's funny.
problem solved.
Have any of you guys done spray tanning? Because I'm thinking
I
about
have.
that.
Oh
Yes.
my
Have
gosh,
you?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Is it great?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you find someone that does it mobily, they have these little pop-up tents that they can
Yes.
put up and just spray you down and come to your house and do it.
Yeah.
Or even to the station, really. We should have a spray tan party here.
Oh, I would love that.
I've done it
I-
one time, Tony, and I remember very vividly going in there, and I was with a friend, Monica.
I know where you're going.
Monica used to be a co-host. Okay,
Yeah. And you don't know, if you've never done it before and nobody's ever taught you what to do.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You do have questions because as a guy, you have other parts.
Yes.
Is
you
this
gotta
like the Friends episode? Is this where this is going?
Remind me.
He gets in the booth and he doesn't hear what the thing's saying, and so he doesn't turn around when she says to, and he only gets sprayed.
Oh,
in the
yes.
front.
Well, yes and no.
So when you're in the thing, it does tell you there's automated. I
Yeah.
used an automated one.
Arms up.
So yeah, it tells you all the stuff.
Goalposts.
But what it doesn't tell you is how to dangle.
No.
Oh.
Right.
You mean like the
Because
like
you
how
don't
to-
want
How to jingle your
tan
dangles?
lines.
I covered my junk when I did it, so I didn't have that.
Okay.
See,
I just wore a pair of tidy whities that I didn't care
Oh,
about.
yeah, no,
and
I
problem
didn't.
solved.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Jake
but
just
I
went
found
in.
a guy.
went in his birthday suit.
The one guy who was working there, I think his name was Bryce, if I
Oh,
recall.
Lord.
He remembers his name.
Well, if you're going to stand like that in front of a guy, you remember him.
I
yeah.
wasn't in front of the guy.
He
like,
was in a
oh,
booth.
I needed
in the
to pull
booth.
him aside. He was an employee there, and I was like, "Hey, what do you do with your junk?" man?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah." It's like, well, you got to know.
Yeah,
You got to know.
Right.
No, that's
It's a
fair.
valid
It's
question. What do you
because
do with
It's
your
just
junk?
funny. That's all.
Yeah, because Amber, the girl that I've been dating, she has a spa, a lure spa, and there's a free plug in Camas, and she's like, "Yeah, we're doing the spray tan now. We're going to do it there." And she goes, "You just come in and do it." And she was like,
She won't have this answer for you,
No.
which is why I'm telling you now.
I was like, "I am not getting naked." She's like, "Why not? I'll just spray it." No,
Oh.
no.
All right.
Well, the
But go
funny
ahead, but go ahead. So
Go ahead, Jake.
did you do the naked spin?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, but what he said was like, you just pop your butt a little bit,
right, you have to
Kinda
squat like a
scary.
sumo wrestler.
and you
Open her up.
Yeah, you lean a little bit forward.
Right.
Lean a little bit forward, pop your butt out. So you get a proper dangle. You don't want skin touching each other.
Oh,
But but
You
here's
gotta-
Jen, are you comfortable right now?
dangle the jangles is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
All
here's,
right, all
but
right.
here's the strange
them
thing.
floating.
Jake went through a machine, so if you have somebody that comes and does it and sprays you,
Yeah, that's what she's going to do.
most of the time the models are used to it, so it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But the first time you get sprayed by somebody else, you have the bidet moment from Jake, and you're going, "Oh, whoa, that was cold."
By the way,
It's
you
very-
gotta warm it up.
Oh,
right?
no, it's
I'm
cold.
doing tidy whities.
It's
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
Or get a little thong or
I'm
something.
just
Danny
ne-
could
I
probably
don't-
let you borrow one.
Hey now,
I'm just.
or have.
you can have my old
Danny, you
ones.
still got that red G-string with the Garth Brooks on the front there?
Wearing it now.
It's
Coordinates with his
funny.
outfits.
Stop it.
It's funny. Yeah,
I-
it's a little cold.
I used to be a ballroom dancer, so you don't just get normal spray tans
No.
for that. You get like the blackout tans.
Yeah, because they do your armpits, they do
Do you
everything.
have to lift your boobs?
No,
Yeah.
because I have an outfit on.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
But what?
Yeah.
I
You
had
get like a
to.
regular spray
I see what
tan.
you're
You have
saying,
to,
though.
like, if,
Man
if you
boobs.
have underboob.
I mean, you pop your chest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So for some women, that's not going to work.
And what do they do?
I have no idea.
Mhm.
And there's another thing they don't tell you about too after. It's called brown pillow.
Yes.
Oh,
know
yeah,
what I'm
because
talking
you
about?
don't
Oh.
shower till the
Right.
next day.
Yeah, and
Right.
it bleeds.
It does.
And in your whole bed, especially if you sleep in just your underwear, your whole bed will end up
Brown.
You know, if you have
Oh,
white
that's
sheets,
a good thing
No,
to
it's not.
remember.
Yeah, white sheet. Yeah,
Yeah.
get some temporary
Yeah.
sheets.
You're
So-
supposed to
yeah.
put down bath towels.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin those
And if you're a sweater,
$3 sheets I bought at Big Lots.
yeah.
Oh,
if
yeah.
You
you're a
got those 1,000 thread counts or whatever. Yeah, you probably want to take those off for the
And
period.
you'll want to do one about once a week, because about day 4, because you work out, which means you sweat.
Right.
So about
and
day
you don't
4,
work out until a few days after.
no.
God, that's everything.
About day 4, you're gonna look like you have leprosy
right.
on some areas of your body.
And some of them stink.
They
Some
do
of 'em-
kind of
they-
have a smell.
Yeah, they're
This
not
is-
It's
good.
not a bad smell. It's just a weird
It
smell.
This is
smells
all
like
very
spray
pleasant.
I don't
tan.
think it's a good. I wouldn't do it.
Just be white.
Yeah.
Pasty.
I've
You're from the
accepted my
Northwest. Be proud.
pastiness.
That's what
Yeah.
happens here.
In
right.
college, I used to do
Go
the
jog with your shirt
cocktail.
off.
I used to do the beds and then the spray tan. Like,
Go
Well,
jog,
and
go jog
sometimes-
with your shirt off. You'll be fine.
But I don't know. Maybe this is like for me. I realize the consequences that come with it. So I'm like, whatever. I'm white. I was born white. I'm gonna be pasty white. That's
Yep.
just the way it is. On the other half, Kimmy, like it makes her feel good. She feels confident. She
Yeah.
feels
Oh,
she loves it,
yeah.
and so she goes to a tanning bed. Or sometimes, like we're getting ready to go to the Bahamas. She's like,
Right.
I'm gonna go get a spray tan to get my base, and then I'll start. So sometimes it
Vitamin
just
D legit does do something.
it does.
Oh,
it literally
man.
does.
Oh.
So yeah. So it does do something
I've
for your
had-
body.
I
I've-
started my
regenerates.
son on it, and it's
Opens up
changed
your
his whole-
endorphins.
His whole. He just takes a little bit of vitamin D
Yeah.
every day, and he said, "Man, Dad, I feel better than I felt forever."
Yeah,
I've
it's
had
crazy.
doctors in the
Interesting.
past say, like, we don't endorse tanning beds, but like once a week, go in there for like just 6 minutes,
Yeah.
and you leave feeling like $1,000,000.
I just think,
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
it's one of those things. I've had skin cancer, so I'm out. But I think if you don't have a history of skin cancer in your family, I would be tempted to at least go every now and again during the winter here in the Northwest.
Oh yeah.
I want to do
Well,
it. I'd
like-
love to do it now. Even I've been tempted, even though they've had stuff removed all over my body. It's just like just to feel that heat and get a little sun on my face.
Sure. It doesn't work for me every time I've tried it unless you use like that what do you call it? The extractor
The
or whatever.
bronzer?
Not the bronzer, like the,
It's like it's a multiplier.
it's
type.
got like some kind of spicy jalapeno or something in it that like pulls your blood to your surface of your skin and makes you really soak up that. I don't know
Yeah.
what
intensifier.
intensifier. That's what it is.
yeah.
But I would much rather just get a spray tan and call it done because it works a lot better for me.
Healthy.
I am pasty white. Like people ask me if I'm anemic all the time. I'm that white.
Well, there was a picture of you at one of the pools at Disney, and I've never seen a whiter.
I
thought you had on a T-shirt. I
They're
thought,
like, nice T-shirt. No,
Yeah.
that's my skin.
I thought, yeah, that's the
The
whitest
one-
T-shirt
him
I've
and
ever
the-
Like, is
seen.
Mojo
Yeah.
naked?
Is he in the
He
tube?
did look
Is that
naked.
the one
You
you're
look-
talking about?
that's a great
Yeah, he's
story.
like, hey! And it's like you could really see the yellow come out of the slide. It's like, wow.
Even the sun was like, bro,
Is Aulani haunted?
it's the ghost of Mojo. Yeah, that was me.
Anyways, anybody who's maybe I'm just the only one, and I have like a weird thing that I follow too many of those people on Instagram, so they keep suggesting them to me.
Well,
But-
they just learn from each other too. I mean, that's how you learn.
Oh,
to-
I know they follow
That's
each
how you
other
learn
and
to
they
pose.
mimic, but I wonder if those girls are happy. Like, I wonder if they're just as happy as the people who follow them and can't mimic their lifestyle.
You'll never know because they'll never post unhappy moments. Let's face it, social media is the best of.
Yeah.
And you got to be realistic with who you're comparing yourself to. We had this conversation.
We
You were like,
did.
what does this girl have that I don't? And I said, well, send me your at. And I went and looked at her page. I'm like, she's naked in all of her pictures, Jen.
And that's why they have
not fair.
46,000 followers because
Yeah.
they're showing their
And
breasts
go look at who's
in a
liking
bathing
them.
suit.
All dudes.
Yeah.
They're not, moms who have kids going, oh, girl, I can relate. No, it ain't that.
No, they can't
It's,
relate.
hey, girl, DM me.
Yeah.
It's all pervy dudes, and that's their audience. Now they can make money targeting that audience. But that's not for everybody, and I don't think that's a long play.
That's not how they make money, though. They don't make money targeting that audience. That just boosts their numbers. and
right,
their
but
likes
it
and
boosts
stuff.
their numbers
Right.
so that they get
Influencers
opportunities.
get like clothes and stuff, and you don't target men with clothes.
no, but
And you're wrong to say it's all creepy dudes. It's not.
mostly. Sorry, I didn't say all. Mostly.
Yeah, you did say all, but like,
I'm sorry, I meant to say mostly.
and it's not mostly. I think women follow each other too, because like Jen said, it was one of the the key phrases, cute outfits. They have cute outfits, and you want to like see how a girl pulls it off, or like makeup tutorials and all that jazz too.
Yeah,
Like,
because
it's-
I need help in
it's-
the
it's
wardrobe
women following
department.
each
So,
other.
so
Yeah,
I go.
but,
I get.
okay, maybe
I
we're
look at them
talking
for
about two
help.
different kinds of people. It's one thing to put on outfits. It's another to be wearing thong bikinis, picturing your butt up close.
Yeah,
Right.
that's, well, yeah, right. Two different.
That's
Right.
not the girls I'm talking about. I'm talking about like they're cute. They're wearing clothes and outfits, and they've got all these sponsorships and stuff. And you start playing this mind game in your head of like, okay, well, my Instagram doesn't look like that. It just
That's
it's
okay.
I know, but sometimes I go down that dark road in my head, and I can only imagine there's so many other women and people younger than me who are also thinking that maybe on more of an extreme.
Yeah.
And but then I started thinking about the girls who are actually taking those, because I follow this one girl who she takes side by side photos, and she does like the perfect Instagram thing. And then she shows like, this was taken 1 second later, and it's her standing flat footed, like
Right.
just kind of
Sure.
herself instead
Exhaling.
Right.
instead of like the super poised, like,
Right.
with the filter and everything. And it just kind of made me realize, like, dang.
One of my favorites like that is this guy. He was jacked, he was really ripped. So he showed that picture, and then he went and drank a ton of water, some milk, and and then came back and did the same picture, and his like belly sticking out.
Right.
Sure.
And he was just showing how that a lot of the people that sell diet plans or
Right.
workout plans, and they show you these before and after photos,
Right.
to be careful, because you can do whatever
You
you
get
want.
sucked
Again,
in.
it goes back to you can do whatever you want with those pictures. And I think it would be interesting to find out about the happiness on a lot of the Instagram models, not the Kim Kardashians or those, but
No,
just
I don't care about
the
them.
people that we know that do it. I think there's two types of people. There's people that realize, hey, I'm an attractive person, or I have a good platform. I can use this to benefit me and my family, make some money.
Mhm.
And then I think there's people with an insatiable need for attention.
Yep.
Yes.
Extreme, and you can tell those really easy. And so I think those are the people that are probably pretty miserable, because can you ever get enough attention? I mean, if that's
Right.
your craving.
And I would
they
also,
use
I don't know.
filters.
I would also add to it the people that go on Snapchat and do the dough filter, and every picture on their Instagram is hiding behind one of those Snapchat filters. I worry about those because I think that they have image problems probably, and that's why they have to hide behind a filter. I'm not saying all, but generally,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just
I-
go no filter?
I think the thing for me would be if those were my daughters or sons. As I think more about I would think I would want them to know that their value is not in their
Yes.
appearance. Their
Yes.
value is in here. And I think that's what makes me sad, because sooner or later we all lose. We lose.
Right.
We lose our attractiveness.
Well, you
for
haven't
the
yet,
most-
Tony. What's
yeah, I was
going
going
on
to say
there?
Well,
Tony and Danny still look good
Yeah,
at what, 72?
testosterone and Botox, and so
Combined age of 116.
That's pretty good math, Jake.
But I'll tell you, when it has been in a very round. I had an eating disorder when I was younger. I mean, because my appearance was so important to me, and so growing because of that, getting older was a beating in my late 40s. That was my midlife crisis. Was just trying to fight that.
So you've already made it through that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just get it. You're going to change. You just do the best you can.
Right. You try
But-
to live with it.
But when you think your value is wrapped up in this, there's going to come a day where a
It's
rude
gonna-
awakening.
Right. It's going to
you know?
happen. Well, and
And-
I feel for Jen too, because Kimmy watches a lot of the makeup tutorials.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've seen them, because she Facebooks at night or whatever, and I've seen them, and I've seen people go from like, oh, who is that? And and then the next minute, like, oh my gosh, they don't even look the same.
Right.
Completely opposite, different person. You're like, whoa.
Mhm.
So I know you're feeling like when you're younger and you're attractive, and people are like, ooh, nice arms, or
Yeah.
ladies, God,
Yeah.
she is hot.
But that is an impactful way to sell makeup, man.
It is.
Yeah.
And those are the girls that are making the money.
Sure.
Because they're doing it. But I agree with you 100%, because at one point in life, we all like to be told that we're hot, we look good.
I'll tell you
we
when
feel good.
it really hit me one time is I was at a ski resort or whatever, and we were standing in line to get skis, to rent skis, and I'm standing there waiting, and it's a fairly young crowd that was working behind the counter, and this young guy walks in, and he's a good looking guy, and I became invisible. Boom. And I've been standing there forever. Right there, front of the freaking line. Little cute Jim Bob walks in and she's like, can I help you? What do you need? It's all free for you. You know, and I'm like, hey, the old dude over here.
Yeah.
Come on, you know.
It's like getting a beer at the bar.
Oh, absolutely. It takes me forever depending on the age of the
He can wait.
bartender.
Until you pull out a pocket full of money, then suddenly you get attention.
Yes,
Right.
so-
That's funny.
Well, for what it's worth, Danny and Tony, you're both in way better shape than I am and probably ever will be. So
Well, you-
props to that.
Your little diet change has helped you lose what? How
Oh
much
yeah,
weight?
I never even stepped on a scale. I didn't do it for that, just to feel
I
better.
bet
but
you
yeah,
would be
I dropped
surprised.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
after
Lots.
going vegan, but
Mhm.
that's
You're
not
still not
that's
as
not
good-
for everybody.
Yeah, you're still not as good looking as Danny, but you
Or
know.
Jake or Tony, and
Well,
I'm
you
okay
know.
being fourth best looking guy on the staff.
Huh?
I forgot Clay too.
I saw pictures of you and that little lady friend of yours. You're doing all right.
Just had to take one off the market before you swiped them all. Tony.
Oh!
No, but I'm happy Tony's found somebody
So
that's
one
making
week and
him
done.
happy.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
TriMet coming through. Hang on.
No, I'm really happy Tony's found somebody that's checking off the personality compatibility boxes.
Yes, I am off dating sites, and it's really nice not to. It was really awkward at moments when you and I were going out with some of the same women. That was kind of awkward.
I have no comment about
I'm
that.
glad I wasn't
That's
here
been
for
a
that.
long time
Oh,
ago.
those were a long time ago.
Yeah.
Who wants to go?
It was February.
Got my girl a while, but yeah, Jake.
You better be careful. I think he moved in with his in
I
February.
did. Jake,
That's funny.
he's joking.
It was a week when he was off the map.
Jake, what do you have today?
I want to talk about Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
did you watch it yet?
Yes.
Is this a good
Okay.
time for me to eat crackers?
Are you planning on watching it?
Here's the thing, Jen. You might actually
Thinking of my
identify.
snacks.
You might actually identify with this because what I want to say is that Game of Thrones is not that good, you guys. Like it's good. It's a fine show. It's fun. I enjoy watching it, and I'm gonna finish it out. I'm all caught up. I've seen every episode, and I do know a lot about it. But people say it's the greatest show of all time. It's
Mhm.
just not.
I was gonna say.
It's a good show.
Would you have said that before this last episode?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
I've said it all along.
Okay.
I've never been obsessed with Game of Thrones. I've never been all excited. In fact, when it came out, I forgot.
You waited a few days to
Yeah.
watch it.
It's definitely not from. And now that you say that, it's not Breaking Bad. It's
Breaking
not,
Bad is.
It's not for me
best show.
personally. It's not Dexter.
It's not The Wire. It's not.
I haven't watched The Wire.
I haven't
so
either, but I
that's a no.
hear I need to watch.
Wait,
it.
what
Walking
are your
Dead.
guys'
Walking Dead's pretty solid.
I
It's
couldn't
not
get it.
West Wing, greatest show of all time. I mean, like it's.
Right.
it's
I would
many
argue
shows.
Breaking Bad, but that's
Have you
Wait,
seen
what's
all the
everyone's
memes
favorite
though?
show?
Huh?
Breaking Bad, hands down for me.
The West Wing.
West Wing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Tony?
good.
What's your favorite show, Danny?
I don't really
all time.
have. I don't really have a favorite show of all time.
American Idol for Danny.
Yeah.
Accurate.
I'll tell you one I do love, and maybe it's the top for me is Ozark or Ozarks.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Ozark
that's-
is like another Breaking Bad.
You
for
got
me.
me on
Yep.
that one.
Ozark is so
Jeez.
good.
It's
And
a good comparison. It is Breaking Bad.
It comes
Just
out like
with-
every 5 years.
Yeah, just with accounting rather than drug.
But
meth.
see,
Yeah, really.
I was smart on the Breaking Bad
I
front.
never thought they make a CPA very cool in that movie.
I
in that
waited
show.
till the last season was about to come on, and then I binged all of Breaking Bad. So I didn't have all those painful. I gotta wait a year till the next episode
I
stuff.
did the
So
same
that's
thing
smart.
with Breaking Bad, and I did you know they had that gap in the last season where the last 6 episodes came out later
Right.
in the season. I never watched them. I
Really?
literally binged it and then just dropped it.
So you,
6
you
episodes
never
shy
watched,
at the end. I
you
still
never
don't
watched
know
the
what
end?
happened at the end of Breaking Bad.
Oh wow!
Well, they're making a movie, so you might want to catch
I
up.
probably should.
it's not that great.
Breaking Bad. Oh, the ending.
The ending.
The ending.
yeah.
Well, now that they're making a movie, I'm curious as to
Better.
if that was the real.
Right.
ending.
The worst ending for me. Well, I guess Sopranos was bad too, but from what I understand,
that
but
just ended.
the Dexter, that ending where now he's a lumberjack in Oregon.
I liked
somewhere, it was kind of wild.
See, I never
I
saw
liked it.
Dexter,
Yeah,
but that's,
Dexter was
Dexter
cool.
and The Wire are two that at some point I will binge watch because I've heard great things about both.
I have watched none of these shows
I haven't
y'all are
either.
talking
Oh.
about.
I just
Yes.
don't have time. That's the
Friends,
thing. I
is that
can't.
your
Dan, you
number
watch
one?
like 7 hours of reality show a day.
No, I
You
mean,
can find
accurate.
time.
I have Mondays and Tuesdays locked up with The Voice and American Idol.
And then America's Got Talent in the summer, and then so you think you can dance.
The
Wednesdays.
Bachelor when that's on.
Well, that's Mondays, and then Wednesdays I watch Botched.
He has it locked.
I
up,
mean,
isn't
it's it's.
Danny, you have time.
Jen, what about you? You never answered, did you?
Favorite
I-
show of all time.
I'm caught between two. I really liked Parks and Rec.
Great show.
That was
Just
a
so fun.
fun
But
show.
I also, you guys are gonna laugh at me. I like Gunsmoke.
Funny.
Wow.
You're an old millennial.
No joke. Anytime that show is on, I have to sit down and I am hooked.
Wow,
Because
Graham.
if you lined up
There you-
40 shows and put Gunsmoke on the list, I would rank that 40th on your list.
Right. There you
Same.
go, Grandma.
That's funny.
Wow.
Gunsmoke. That is funny.
I love Western.
Right.
You love Sheriff Dylan.
What is
Matt Dillon.
that? What is that
That's
channel that's like an HD5 channel? It's
Yeah.
like all
Yes.
showing like Me TV or whatever.
I
So they
think
like
that
have it all
MeTV.
DVR'd.
I leave that over for my dog. Dude.
During the day.
So does Jen for
That is
Bridger,
funny.
right?
My father-in-law got me hooked
blown.
on it.
My mind is blown. I agree,
Yeah.
Jake.
Crazy, Jen.
It's funny you mentioned Gunsmoke, but yesterday
Why?
we talked about music and you didn't know who Rod Stewart was.
Oh, she does that all the time, man. She
For
does stuff
selective
like
knowledge, yeah.
I was like, wait a second, can you repeat that?
No, that's the moment we say, "Get out."
No,
Get out.
she does weird stuff like that all the time. She won't know somebody like that, and then
I
she'll
have
know
very
Gunsmoke.
selective decade
Oh,
Man,
Very selective.
it's
Yeah.
maddening, you guys.
that's
Maddening.
crazy. That's crazy.
But I think if you pieced together all the things that I have known through the decades, they all trend the same, you know? Because like the stuff you guys mentioned is like over here,
Right?
and I go this way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
I
it's funny.
guess.
I mean, you
Also,
tell me
on
how
the
much
Rod
of a
Stewart thing, people thought he was hot when he was younger. I don't get it. Sorry, Rod. Like, I think he's ugly.
well now.
And back
Oh
then.
yeah, he's always been kind of.
That's funny. That's
Weird.
crazy. Go back to Game of Thrones because I showed you this video.
Yeah.
And it caught my eye and I was like, holy cow, is this show that incredibly good? And then you laughed at me because you're like, that's a fake video.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, okay. Now then you told me what came behind it. But
Now-
I've noticed a ton of memes
The reaction
lately.
in that video. So what we're talking about is a video where people are watching Game of Thrones and it's a big room of people and they all go crazy at one point. It's a fake video, but that is the way people act about Game of Thrones.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And I've never thought it was a top-notch show.
Uh-huh.
Would people watch it if it was on network television? If you know what I mean.
If it didn't have the
all
nudity scenes and
the
violence,
sex scenes.
it wouldn't be as good.
Well, sure, I think that's part of the hype is the fact that they show all the things you can't see on network
Yes,
television.
and it's got a lot of shock factors.
The
to
feel
it.
of
been
that
an appeal.
show, it is a
Like when the brother and sister are dating. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
oh more than
Is
More
that from the
Dayton, bro.
Ozarks or
Well,
Game of Thrones?
That's, I was just going to leave it at that.
the feel of that show. It's a savage show,
Sure.
and it's about it's set in a time that actually exists in our history that was just a savage time, and so like it's a shocking show to us because we just don't do any of that. Like you can't challenge somebody to a duel anymore.
No.
Like they can do
Thank
that.
God I'd be dead.
Oh, interesting.
Same.
Jake would have killed me on my second day of work.
No, it would have been day one. But yeah, I get your point, Jake.
Yeah. It's,
Wow.
But it's not that good.
How accurate do you think it is for that time period?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think it's set in any real time period. There was
Yeah.
no like warring 7 nations. or
Obviously,
anything
there
like
was no dragons, but
that. Yeah.
I
Good
mean,
point.
Oh, there's actual dragons in this thing?
yes,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was when I fell in love with it because there's like, oh yeah, this is.
That's
gonna be
actually kind of one of the cool parts of it, to be honest.
Yeah,
There's a
with you.
lot of
I just
dark
want to see it to
magic,
see
stuff
what
like
it's
that,
about
yeah.
now because that video got me so hyped
Interesting.
up. I
You
was like,
should.
yeah.
About an hour.
probably start it.
is it?
Each episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't
I got time
understand.
to do that.
I've
Yeah,
never
you do.
seen this show, any episodes, but I'm trying to piece together based on you all talking about it. Why do they need these like gruesome killing scenes when there's freaking fire-breathing dragons on the show?
Right.
Like, why
Well,
don't they
funny.
just have one of them eat the? Have they ever eaten a person?
Well, they
On the show?
when they were babies, they were burning people up. So I'm sure they've already. I haven't got there yet, but I'm sure they're eating people by now.
Wow.
That's how the show should end. Just a dragon come in,
Well, actually,
light fire, game of over.
I'm on season 4, and last night one of the dragons flew over top of Mama and dropped the cow. So I'm assuming they're eating people now too. So yeah,
Wait, it dropped a cow on a person?
no, dropped the cow for one of the other babies to eat.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah,
It's a good show.
This show
I
is
don't
not
want- I
going to
don't want to take it
be
away from it. It
something
is a
I.
good
it's
show.
overhyped, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
That's a perfect way to put it. Overhyped.
Breaking Bad, not overhyped. That's when you should binge.
Okay.
Pretty freaking
Have you
good.
have you not seen Breaking Bad?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, Danny!
I haven't
I'm
either.
saying I
Have
haven't seen
time.
them.
You start that and you're done.
I know. I haven't seen them.
I haven't
Dude,
either.
I've seen like clips and like highlight moments. In fact, our old boss at Milt is here.
Yeah.
He looks like one of the guys from Breaking Bad. So
Well,
it's
he came
very
from
fun.
Albuquerque.
He looks
Right.
like the guy. He looks like the guy from
Like I've
Breaking
seen
Bad.
the RV moments when he's walking out with the meth suit on and stuff. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never seen that from start to finish.
What scripted show have you loved, Danny? I mean, you didn't never answer. What's like a scripted,
Scripted
show that
show.
you love?
I really loved Friends.
So the most generic answer you can give?
What about
I don't
Happy
know.
Day?
I can't think of one.
What
What
about
about
Happy
Gunsmoke?
Days and
How'd you
Laverne and
feel
Shirley?
about
Hey.
No, I know it's funny. Oh, you know what? Scandal.
There you go.
Okay.
Scandal.
All
I
right.
loved Kerry
A little
Washington in
redemption.
Scandal. It was very cool about the stuff like that.
I really liked Revenge.
Revenge was good too. So yes, Scandal was one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good day. I thought you were like an assembled pop culture robot.
And okay,
For a
now
minute.
that you got my brain thinking, what was the one with William Shatner and the guy
Star Trek.
Boston Legal.
Boston Legal?
Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
Those two are, I'd say those are my favorites. So I do.
God, he
I
was
guess I
excellent
do.
in that.
Yeah. Well, James Spader.
Yep.
There's
That's who
so
it is.
many cop
Denny Crane.
shows like
yeah.
that.
Denny Crane.
Yeah.
oh,
He
that's funny.
was fantastic.
Yeah, he was good.
But what was the one we were talking about earlier? The cop show? The Heat or no?
The Wire.
The Wire.
The
I
Wire.
hear that is the best cop show of all time.
Blue Bloods is the best
Blue
cop
Blood was
show.
good.
Is that the one with Jennifer?
NYPD Blue back was the
J-Lo?
OG.
Tom Selleck.
Selleck, yeah.
I
Bridget Moynihan?
love.
Yeah.
He is my very favorite actor. Tom Selleck is on the very top. Like
Wasn't the
all
new
of
kid
his,
on the block in Blue Bloods?
Yeah, Donnie.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie?
Donnie
Yeah.
Wahlberg.
Jen's
He's
like,
one
"Who's
of-
new kids on the
Tom
block?"
Selleck's your favorite.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I love all of his movies. The Jesse Stone movies.
You know, have you ever heard of Magnum PI?
No,
You've heard of Maggie.
I have.
Yeah, okay. She's heard of it.
I've heard of it.
There's
Yeah.
a new.
You're aware.
That's how we were introduced to Tom Selleck.
yes, you have to go back and binge watch that one.
How did you? What's your Tom Selleck? Like your earliest memory of Tom Selleck? Like where did you come to love him?
Jesse Stone movies,
I don't even know those.
like 2004 maybe.
Neither.
That's when you became aware of Tom Selleck.
2001, 2004.
Hardly in the peak of his career.
I was also only like 13 in 2001.
Okay.
Oh boy.
We lost Tony.
Tony, what do you have today?
Tony, before I commit suicide, tell me something.
All I was going to say is,
I feel like we really bore you in this podcast a lot.
all I was wanting to do is know what to buy my daughters for Easter. I know what to get my son. Just as I'm just gonna get
Oh,
them.
that's a good
But
question.
so I think I'm just going to. We don't need to talk about it. I'm just going to get them an Ulta gift card. I think and go get your makeup. The problem is I realized that like one stick of lipstick there's like $700. It's ridiculous. So
It is nuts. But that brings up a good
It
point
is.
because Kimmy and I were just having this conversation, and Jake and Jen both have experienced it with younger kids, Bridger and Jake's boys. So, like, now Austin's 22, Lexi's 19, Tanner's 14. I'm like, do we go buy Easter baskets for
Yes.
them anymore? Because Austin's
course
moved
you
out.
do.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
leave an Easter basket. I mean, it was fun for the little ones to go do the Easter egg hunt outside or indoors because we live in Oregon and it rains a lot. So you hide them around the house. But as an adult kid, it's like, do you do it anymore? And
Yes.
I saw a survey the other day that like Easter candy is second in line next to Halloween for giving stuff away for candy sales. And I was like, holy cow! I don't know people still do that
I still get an Easter basket, and I'm 30
from your parents, really?
from my in-laws. Yeah,
Carson,
Yeah,
you buying them one?
Oh yeah.
That you have
Oh,
to.
yeah,
they're
they're
really
so
little.
little. They're still
They're little.
They
My
have
kids are
to.
still little
But I'll
too.
get one too, and it usually just has like, a mountain of peeps and some. underwear.
That's right. I forgot. And some underwear.
You ever done peep jousting?
What's that?
You ever done peep jousting?
Oh yeah.
Take two peeps, put toothpicks in them, put them in the microwave,
Microwave?
and see which one wins.
But
It messes up your microwave.
You've
go to hell for what you've done to the peeps.
Well, you can lick the plate
What are you
after.
on Game of Thrones?
the Game of Thrones version of Peeps.
There's like a
that's
fire-breathing
good
microwave.
video.
Yeah.
But here's a fun way you can do, Danny. You can play Teenage Easter. Get all their iPhones and iPads while they sleep,
Right.
and go hide them throughout the house and say Happy Easter.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see panic ensue?
Oh, they lose their mind.
Oh,
That's
I'm
a really good idea.
so doing that.
I just made that up. That's good though.
I'm taking Tanner's Xbox controller,
Do it.
his iPad, and his iPhone, and Lexi is gonna lose her. You know what?
Tanner's gonna be like, "It's cool, Dad. I just
I
ordered
can't
a new remote
Snapchat.
on
What's going on?
Prime."
What's happening?
Oh,
Oh, I'm so doing that.
I'm
That's
just going to
awesome.
buy a bunch. Ulta gift card, maybe some milk chocolates. How
you
something.
can't go wrong with that.
That's perfect.
Chocolate bunnies, and it's this weekend.
It is.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
kinda late
inside
this
a little
year, isn't
Kate Spade purse.
Well, I'm Kate spaded out. Lord,
it? Yeah, that's an expensive.
last two Christmases have been Kate Spade Christmases. Thank God for good ratings.
right?
Wow.
I want to share a story from Monday night. We went to the Dan and Shay Chris Lane show at the Schnitz, and there was a cool experience that happened that I think can relate to a lot of people. If you have a business, this is probably a good lesson to extend. We always try to make sure we respond to comments and emails as quickly and as helpfully as possible. If they have a question, we try to find the answer, that sort of thing. So we had this moment, and Chris Lane had texted me. I know I just dropped the name. Sorry. That hey, remind me to tell you the funniest story backstage at the show. I was like, all right, I'm curious what this is. So I asked him as soon as we get back to the meet and greet. He's like, no, wait for everyone to get in here. I was like, okay. So and I think Jen and I were thinking the same thing. So he's like, all right, everybody, when everybody's back there, I want to have your attention real quick. I want you to meet my girlfriend and her parents, and he brings them out. And I think Jen and I both looked at each other like, oh my God, he's going to propose.
Yeah.
That wasn't what happened.
We
Dang
were
it.
hoping. We were
Dang it.
hoping.
So Lauren Bushnell, who is a bachelorette, is his girlfriend, and her parents, all from West Lynn, all came out, and her mom said, hey, I wanted to tell you guys a story. So, and mind you, there are multiple people from different outlets in this room. I want to tell you a story. I emailed all the radio stations locally, hiding behind my husband's name, which I thought was funny too.
It was cute.
Asking you guys to play Chris Lane, let you know that Lauren's my daughter, and we want to support Chris. And only one of you replied and played the song. And it was you, Mojo. And I just want to thank you so much for your quick response. I didn't even have time to get home before you'd already replied. You were super helpful. You played the song. And I just want to say I certainly appreciate it. We're all Bull fans for life. And I think Jen and I were both like gushing with pride. We're like, oh, yay, that's awesome.
They
Of course-
listen to the Bull.
And she was fangirling Lauren the whole time anyway. But
It's true.
but-
Chris, you go over there. No,
but I think the lesson in that is treat all the customer experience touch points seriously. If you get an email about your business or a phone call and you have one of those like totally impersonal calling trees or automated phone systems, maybe rethink that.
Mhm.
You know, having that touch point matters. I mean, that is your first line of defense for your brand. And I guess that was the lesson, or that reinforced the lesson that I've always tried to instill with our team is just make sure you have that good customer experience, no matter if they're buying a product or contacting you with a question, because that matters. And it really helps solidify a passionate fan base for whatever business it is you have, and it sets you apart from your competition.
True.
So just wanted to share that story. I thought it was kind of neat. And of course, always having the competitor in the room when that happens is a beautiful thing.
So if you
Oh,
have any complaints, MOJOE at 987thebbull.com.
And there's that. Thank you, Danny. Remind me to drop yours in the next yeah, may or nay.
Didn't she couldn't find an email at first, so she
Right.
accidentally
She just-
applied for a job.
Yes.
Because that was the only way
That
that
was
she
funny.
could get an email through.
And then we saw Nate Botsford in the meet and greet line, and I'm like, hey, this is Jen. You might know her from the last podcast of Yeah, May or Nay.
Speaking of that, we should plug Yemer real quick because the voting is
intense this week.
it
Yeah.
is crazy.
Well, it's because Brittany
Yeah.
had come on and said, "Okay, peeps, I need your help."
Yeah.
We're
So
up
is
against
Nate.
the,
Brittany
yeah,
Kellogg and Nate Botsford are both on there right now.
Now they're
both of their
duke-
armies are.
duking it out.
I mean,
And it's crazy.
we've never
You've
had voting like this.
You've had thousands of votes and 5 listens to the podcast, so it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Maybe click play while you're at it, y'all. Just throwing that out there. But it is crazy. So vote for your favorite if you haven't done that. Jake does a great job putting that thing together every week. We 4 or 5 songs, and the one that gets the most votes is the returning champ for the following week. And at this point, it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's real close. Brittany's on her. This will be her 3rd week if she wins this week.
Oh wow,
But
3.
I think she's in 2nd place, but it's 2nd place and nipping distance. So
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, I
That's
met
cool.
Nate on Monday night. He was in the meet and greet line for Chris Lane.
I didn't see him.
And he's like, hey, and I, check out my head. He goes, I'm Nate. And I was like, oh, hey, man, and kind of talking. And he goes, yeah, you didn't like my song on the podcast. And I was like, I'm sorry. I only get 19 seconds to listen to it. Like, that's a hard thing. And we've been wrong before because we did that with the Casey Musgraves Neon Moon.
we're way wrong.
We
on
were
that.
way wrong. We listened to the 19-second clip and thought, oh, God, this is terrible. But
Oh,
then
no,
we
that's
went back
great.
and listened to it from the beginning. It's
We were
amazing.
just wrong.
So, Nate, I'm sorry, but his camp was on it. I have gotten Instagram messages and emails from his management people sending me all the links to all of his songs.
Make sure you have the music.
like, please don't
funny.
just judge him on that.
When does voting end for that, Jake?
Right, pretty much the moment the next one starts.
Oh, so Friday.
Yep.
Right.
So 987thebull.com if you haven't clicked play and voted. And I think we can end on this. Brooks and Dunn reboot. Greatest album of the year so far.
Killer.
So good.
killer.
Oh, I don't have a favorite. They're all so good. I mean,
I do.
I have,
Midland Boots
my
Boogie.
favorite is whichever one I'm
really good.
listening to at the moment.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I've even fallen in love with the ones I thought were less than stellar, like Believe.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Kane Brown
so
is
good.
He's pretty good on it.
Yep.
You hear Ronnie sing it again, fresh with new a new remaster of it.
Ugh.
And if you're not familiar, it's Brooks and Dunn singing with like every up and coming country artist out today, from Luke Combs to Casey Musgraves, and even one guy we'd never heard of before. Who should be next to do something like that?
It's a great question. They should be shamelessly doing this
Garth?
over and over again.
George Strait.
George Strait.
Ooh,
Yeah.
They should be the ones who do it.
boy, I hope they set up a new
Diffie
trend.
should do it.
Diffie. Well,
That'd be a good one. I like that.
here's one I threw at Jake the other day that I thought kind of hit me between the eyes too. Luke Combs now has the same amount of number ones as Joe Diffie.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Joe Diffie should do that. That's
He
awesome.
should do it.
I hope
Travis
every-
Tritt should do it.
Alan Jackson.
Oh,
What about
Alan
Alan
Jackson.
Jackson. Great.
Yeah.
He has more
Alabama.
hits than anybody. doesn't he?
Alabama.
Alabama,
Does
they
Alan
did
Jackson
the
have the most
Eagles
number one
remake, The
hits?
Common Thread.
George Strait.
That was years ago. That was a
no.
great album.
George
But-
Strait has the most number one hits, right?
Does that-
62.
Alan
62.
Jackson has like 33, doesn't he?
He's got a ton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a lot.
You don't
Jackson
know
great
it
one.
until you go to their shows and you're like, oh my god.
Right.
Yeah, that's what hit me
If
about
Alan came to
the
town, would you
Garth
go?
show. That's what
Oh,
hit me
yeah.
about the Garth show. Was
Yeah,
like,
I
He
would- I
did,
somebody didn't realize how many hits he had.
He played Willamette Country Music Festival
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago. He
It
did.
was longer than that because I was there. But I haven't been in the state
Well, he was.
in a while.
He did the one down in Medford.
Oh,
he did the
no,
one
this
down
is
in
the
Medford.
one in Brownsville.
Yeah.
Did I call it the right name?
Yeah.
he did.
Oh,
He did.
that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe.
I don't remember.
Maybe
There's
10
been so
now.
many.
I don't even know.
He
but it
hasn't
was.
been here for a
I was
while.
in like the back row. I mean, like back by the food vendors, because we got there at night just to see him. Oh, and people were standing up partying all the way to the back row
Yeah.
for Alan Jackson. It was good.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Any of those '90s country acts, if they could all follow it, take a note from Brooks and Dunn and do that kind of a project, it's just such a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
If Houston Rodeo did like a 90s theme and did only all of those artists, I would take 3 weeks off from work and go to
Yeah.
Houston Rodeo and just see one
Pretty awesome.
every single night.
So homework assignment for everybody listening and watching: download Reboot. It's so worth the $10 or whatever it is to cost to download
Yes.
an album. I don't know. I stream. But
You say the album of the year so far?
of this year, it's my favorite project, hands
Of
down. Aside
2019.
from Weezer's cover album, which isn't country, but we don't need to go there.
Okay.
I'd like to see any one of those get nominated for event.
Oh, the
Oh.
vocal event next year at the even this year at the CMA should all be every single or 5 songs from that album.
Totally. Yeah,
that'd be
You
funny.
pick them, we're cool with whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as Boots, Scoot, and Boogie's on there. That Midland one is great. They performed it on Tonight Show last week, by the way. Go Google it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes.
But does
With-
it have Brooks and Dunn?
They should do a concert.
Midland and Brooks and Dunn?
No, every
Brooks
artist
and
on
Dunn
that.
show.
They have a,
Brooks
they
and
have a
Dunn.
Vegas residency.
They do with Reba, but they should do a concert where they feature all those artists and come
All
out and
of
perform
them.
that
Yeah,
live.
it's Vegas.
Oh.
It would be easy to put together.
Yes, I
Like a
love it.
guitar pool just with the,
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do this again every Wednesday at 10:30. Download Reboot, right?
Mhm.
Great project. Every artist should do that. And we'll talk to you next week. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.